Good day everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So for today we are going to tackle about quality assurance tool for GIYA for teachers. As writers, we have to self-assess our work using the QA tool or the quality assurance tool. So for GIYA for teachers, there are 4 indicators on how to self-QA. Number 1 is we have the quality review. Number 2 is we will be having a completeness of format. Then number 3, we have other findings. And number 4 is the content findings. So let's begin with number 1, the quality review. So for the quality review, we have here the 3 parts. We have the prints, the overall interface, and the references. So these are our indicators. For our criteria, we have observable, which is 3 points. We have partially observable is 2 points, and the not present 1 point. So let's begin with prints. So there are 11 guidelines on how to rate for the prints. So number 1 is we have uses Arial type face. Dapat Arial po ang style na gamitin for GIYA for teachers. So if that is observable, you can check 3 points. Second for print is uses 12 font size for activities and mini lesson for our grades 1 to 12. So dapat 12 font size. If that is observable, you just tick 3 points. Number 3 is uses a 14 font size for our title or our heading for our GIYA for teachers. Number 4, we are going to use not smaller than 10 font size for graphic organizers. We have our tables and or other graphic, infographic, that is 10, not smaller than 10 font size. Our number 5 is uses 1 inch for left and right sides, top, bottom, or the marginal points in the margin. So dapat 1 lang po ang inch for our margin. We have left, right, bottom, and up. That is our number 5. Number 6, we have uses A4 page layout. Dapat A4 po ang gagamitin na paper layout. Number 7, we have uses portrait to page orientation. Dapat po portrait. Number 8, we have to use bottom page to right side for the page number. So dapat nasa baba po ang page number at the bottom right. Then number 9, we have to use Hindu-Arabic for our pages. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yung talagang ilagay na page number for the main parts. Number 10, we have to use justify or justify page layout for paragraphs, test questions, and stories. So dapat po naka-justify po. That is for number 10 for our print. And the last one is observe single space within a part of the GIYA but add space in between its parts. Example, our mini lesson. Then of course, guided practice activity, evaluation activity sheet, and enrichment activity sheet. So remember that our enrichment activity sheet is only for GIYA for teachers. Wala na po siya sa GIYA for learners. So we have here, we have 11 guidelines for our prints. So if you got 3, all of those, so you can have 3 times 11 is 33 points. So let's now proceed to overall interface. We have to follow 8 guidelines. So for number 1, uses capitalized headline style, capitalization for topics and titles. As headings, so we have meaning first words of titles and subtitles and any important words thereafter should be capitalized. Then number 2 is observes a flash left, bold face, and with headline style, capitalization for headings, titles, or topics. Number 3, positions, tables, and figures after they are first references on mention. So dapat po nakaposition ng table natin at saka figure. That is for number 3. Number 4, we have to include caption. No? Caption or short explanation of the figure or illustration. Number 5, we have to use at least 1 inch size for photos and other figures used as options choices in a test. So for our pictures, images, we have to put that one. You just have 1 inch. Except for the table or the illustration, for uses at least, for our number 6, at least 2.5 inches. That is for photos and other figures used as options for our photos, illustration, and other figures that are used for the mini lesson. That is our number 6. So 2.5 inches in height and 4 inches for width. Number 7, places mini lesson inside a box to distinguish it from other parts of GIYA, and it uses black shape outline with no color fill. So meaning ang mga wordings po natin wala na pong color fill, wala pong background na color, only the figures, the illustrations, and the images that we use. For our number 8, places a multiple choice test. It stimulus materials, STEM, and options within the same page. So for example, if you have multiple choice question, so dapat yung mga choices nasa the same page po sila lahat. Example, yung number 5 question mo, you have your STEM, your question, and yung choices, A, B, C, D, dapat same page lang po. That is for our letter B, overall interface. So pag 8 guidelines po natin, pag 3 lahat, you have a total score of 8 times 3, that is 24. So let's now proceed to references. Ano ba yung mga guidelines for the references? So we have here 9 guidelines. Number 1, leaves 1 space between entry sources. So mayroon pong 1 space after first reference space, then another reference na po. Second, list entries in letter by letter alphabetical order according to the first word in each entry, be that the author's name or the title of the piece. Dapat po naka-alphabetical order ang ating references. Number 3, use the word and, not an ampersand and. Yung symbol po na ampersand, wag pong gamitin. For multi-author entries whenever possible. Then number 4, writes out all names for 2 to 3 authors whenever possible. Lahat po ng authors natin isulat from 1 to 3 author. What if more than 3 author? That is our number 4. Write out all names and the references, but only the first author's name, plus it all or others, in notes and parenthetical citations for 4 to 10 authors whenever possible. So pag 4 authors na and above, you just write the first reference or first author lang ang isulat, the family name, then the first name, then we have here the middle initial, then et al, then the year. So no need to put all of the authors, only 1 author, then you just write it all. Then for number 6, cites title both on the references page and in shortened form, up to 4 keywords from that title in parenthetical citations throughout the text when a source has no identifiable author. What if wala pong author ang ating reference? So just write the title po. So that is our number 6. Number 7, does not use access dates unless publication dates are unavailable. Uses only retrieve from, followed by a date when there is a publication date. So kailan mo na access, you can just write retrieve from. 8 rather, uses the abbreviation ND if the publication date of a printed work is uncertain. So pag wala po tayong exact date, you just write ND, N period D. And our last number 9 provides DOIs. DOI is Digital Object Identifier or identifiers instead of URLs or the Uniform Resource Locators whenever possible. Then provide a URL if no DOI is available. So note that for the GIYA for teachers, for this part, for the quality review, so we are going to add all the guidelines, 11 plus 8 plus 9, total is 28. If all of the criteria falls to 3 or fall to 3 points, so you just multiply 28 times 3 is equal to 84. Take note that the passing score for our self-QA is 67. So just count your points. If that is 67 or over 84, so meaning you passed the self-QA. So we are through with the first indicator, which is our quality review. So let's now proceed to the second indicator, which is the completeness of format. So there are 4 guidelines for the completeness of format or the indicators. we have our cover page, B is first page, C is the body, and the D is the last page. So our criteria is or are yes and no. So for cover page, what are the parts under cover page? We have our resource title, the learning area, the grade level, and the quarter. So for our cover page, you just tick yes if you have completed this portion. Then for our first page, we have resource title, our learning area, grade level, quarter, our milk and topic. And for the lesson objectives for mathematics, we focus on the learning competency. Then writer's profile, your name and school, name of school and district. Then the division, of course, Zamboanga Sibugay, if we are in Zamboanga Sibugay division. Then for letter C, we have our body of our GIYA for teachers. Include mini lesson. We have guided practice activity, independent practice activity, and the evaluation activity sheet. Then if you have prepared the enrichment activity sheet, you include in your GIYA for teachers. But in the GIYA for learners, pwede na po siyang hindi ilagay. Then for our last page is, or we have the rubrics. So of course, if our GIYA for teachers, our mini lesson or activities, mayroon po siyang need po ang kanyang rubrics. So you just include rubrics. Then second is the answer key sa mga activities po na inilagay natin from the guided practice activity, independent practice activity, evaluation activity sheet, or activities, up to enrichment. You just put all the answers for the answer key para po guide ng teachers sa ating GIYA for teachers. Then of course, we are going to cite the references using the Chicago Manual of Style. So for citing the references, I already uploaded a video. You just watch that video for your own reference. So let's proceed now with here. What will be our guide for letter number 2, indicator. So note that to pass criterion number 2, we have the completeness of format GIYA for teachers. It must have a mark yes in all indicators. So lahat po dito naka-yes po. Ang cover page dapat yes. Ang first page dapat yes. Body yes. Tapos last page yes. If ever mayroong isa na no or more than one, automatic po i-revise po natin ang ating particular couplet para ma-complete po talaga ang format natin sa GIYA for teachers. So let's now proceed for the number 3, other findings. So there are 4 indicators: conceptual errors, factual errors, third is grammatical or typographical errors, and the other errors we have computational, obsolete information, errors in the visuals, etc. So for our criteria, we have 4, 3, 2, 1. So 4 is not present pag wala pong errors in the concept. For example, our definition about quadrilateral, mayroon po tayong na-miss na definition or exact meaning. Dapat 4, it has 4 sides. Ang nalagay po natin is 3 sides. Mayroong error po ang ating concept. So, hindi po siya 4 points. Dapat kasi 4 points, not present po ang conceptual errors. So, we have 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 if present but very minor and must be fixed. 2 points, it presents and requires major redevelopment. And 1 point, do not evaluate further. So, pag marami na talagang errors, hindi na i-evaluate. No? It should be no conceptual errors for 4 points. For letter B is factual errors. No? Dapat fact, exacto talaga yung mga data in our mathematics or other subjects. 4 points pa rin pag walang errors, factual errors. 3, 2, 1. For grammatical errors, we can have our grammarly.com in our website para po ma-check ang grammar. Pwede po tayo mag-register. Then i-upload po natin ang ating file or document for our GIYA for teachers para po ma-check ang ating grammar. Para po 4 points po tayo dito. Other errors, computational, obsolete information, errors in the visuals. As mathematics, our solutions po dapat check po ang computation para po mayroon tayong 4 points. So all in all, we have 4 indicators times 4 points, that is 16 points. to get the passing score for our self-QA, dapat po mayroon tayong 12 points out of 16. But if below 11 points, we have to revise po our work. So let's now proceed for number 4, or the fourth indicator is content findings. There are five indicators. We have number 1, observes contextualization of contents. Dapat po contextualize. So that is 4 points if present po ang ating contextualization. 3 points, present but very minor and must be fixed. 2 points, present and requires major redevelopment. And 1 point, do not evaluate further. The second is uses appropriate images. Appropriate ba ang nailagay natin mga images? So we have to rate 4, 3, 2, 1. Third, addresses sensitivity on learners' needs and context. So be sensitive po tayo sa ating inilagay na mga context or images. So that is 4 points for our highest, 3, 2, 1. Then aligns all objectives or our learning competencies. Lahat ba ng ating mga activities na align ba sa ating MELC? So that is 4 points, ang highest, then followed by 3, 2, 1. And the last one is observes congruency of concept development with MELC-based, CG-based objectives. So dapat po congruent po talaga lahat ang ating mga concepts sa ating pong MELC po. We have our MELC. So ang total po natin ay 20 points. The passing score is 15 points. So dapat hindi po tayo bababa sa 15. If we get 14 points and below, we need revision po sa ating GIYA for teachers. Then you just write all the overall score. To obtain a passing overall score, the rating in each of that criteria. So we have quality, number 1, quality review. 2, completeness of format. 3, other findings. 4, content findings should be passed. So dapat mapass po natin lahat. Then date self-QA conducted, you just write the date. To be assured, quality assured by the QA team member, meron pong mag-evaluate din yan or mag-QA after your self-QA. Then your QA team leader, and of course to the EPS, the education program supervisor will validate our QA. So I hope you have learned about our quality assurance tool for GIYA for teachers. So thank you very much for watching, and good luck and God bless to one another.